Hello, thank you for tuning in to Vandalay Guitar Repair. Today, little different video. We are going to do some maintenance on my 1985 Pioneer SA960 integrated amplifier. It's working great. It's one of my favorites. I have a few mid-80s Pioneers, and I just love them. But the volume is crackling a little when it's at really low volume. I don't listen to it at really low volume too often, but early in the mornings I often do while the wife is still asleep. So I thought I would go ahead and pull it out, check everything, and clean the sliders, the potentiometers, etc., and just see if there's any maintenance that needs to be done. It's one thing about vintage equipment. I mean, I love it. I love the way it sounds, but you do have to do some maintenance, here and there. So all I'm going to do is I had to disconnect a couple things. I didn't have to disconnect much. I unplugged it. Always unplug it before you do something like this. And I'm going to pull it out onto this table so that my back doesn't hurt, and take the case off. There was just 2 screws holding the case on one of these. By the way, this 960 sounds fantastic. And it's only like 70 or 80 watts a channel, but it drives my speakers like mad. My other two, I have a 1983 Pioneer SA1040 and a 1985 SA1050. They're both 100 watts a channel, and I swear I think this one's louder. It seems to be. It pushes the speakers more anyway. I do believe that the harmonic distortion's a little lower in it too. Anyway, I just love this thing. But the slider, like I say, is a little noisy. If you have any type of potentiometer, any type of 2-channel stereo, my advice is to move your sliders, turn your knobs, even if you don't use them a lot. Just move them a lot when it's off, if nothing else, and that will keep them from getting too dirty. Also, with your guitar or bass, same thing. Move those knobs, even if you don't use them too much. If you're like me, you keep everything on 10 most of the time. Just when it's not plugged in, just move them. It'll keep you from having to do this too often. Now, I have not gotten in here and cleaned this thing. I've had it for years, and I haven't done anything to it. And I did have my 1040 going, and it was getting a little crackly, and I was having some troubles with the left channel when it warmed up, and so I know it needs to be cleaned. And instead of just cleaning it, I thought, well, I've been wanting to pull this 960 out because I really like the way it sounds. And, I'm going to listen to it for a while. And then, who knows, I'll probably go back to one of the others. I switch them out every once in a while, depending on my whims. But this is, if you can find one of these, they're pretty accessible. They're usually not overly expensive. A good working one, maybe $150, maybe $200. Well worth it. Fantastic integrated amp, I think. And the phono stage sounds great too. I have one of my turntables, my LP60, hooked up into the phono stage in this, and I have my my Fluence turntable that is hooked up to the I have an external phono stage for that. But yeah, this case comes off really easy. 2 screws, and then the faceplate, same thing. There's 2 screws, and all I really did is I didn't even pull the faceplate all the way off. I just pulled it back enough for me to squirt some deoxit in it. So took the 2 screws out of the top and got deoxit in the sliders really well, and then moved them back and forth. I hit all the switches really well with deoxit as well. Too many wells there, sorry. But got the switches with the deoxit, and it made such a difference. So if you don't, even if you don't work on stuff a lot, having some deoxit around the house is definitely, it's a plus. It's a little expensive for what it is. It's probably like $30 or so for like the size can I have here, which is not a very big can. But it lasts forever, and it saves you a fortune. It really does. A lot of times people think things need to be repaired, and they're just filthy. And not even dirt you can see, dirt inside the potentiometer itself. It happens. It's nothing that you're doing wrong necessarily. It just happens over time. And in this instance, like I say, this thing was made in 1985. I haven't done anything to it. I've had it for many years, and I've hooked it up a few times, but this is the first time I've had any crackling from it. So my guess is it's never been opened up. I'm probably the first one to get in here, and it's gone this long without needing a thing, which is a testament to their quality. But yeah, I just slid this back just enough so I could get in there. And all it does is there's 2 screws on the top, and then there's clamps. I didn't want to pull all of them off because it is old, and I'm trying to be super gentle with it. So I want to clean these sliders really well. As you can see, in there, there's an external plastic slider which goes into that potentiometer type slider, and then the several switches. There's a slider for the bass, a slider for the treble, and a slider for the speakers left and right. So I think here I am with the deoxit. And I'm sorry, I had to record this audio after the fact. I either didn't turn my mic on or it wasn't charged. I'm not sure which. I'm sorry. But either way, you're still getting the quality audio you're used to from me. Yeah. But this is a pretty easy fix. It is. I'm going to probably clean my other 2 one day soon, and I may put those on the bench since they're not hooked up, and we'll take a closer look at those. They don't have sliders. I don't have to be quite as gentle with them. They just have regular potentiometers, and they come apart about the same though. Like I say, these mid-80s Pioneers, all pretty similar, but the power that they have is incredible, and just a super warm and also, I mean, not just a warm tone, but there's also a lot of depth. I think that they have a great sound stage, and they definitely have there's a lot of intricacy. I mean, you can hear the instrumentation great. So yeah, everything's working well. I turned it on, hitting the switches. This is my DJ Pre 2 preamp. That thing is great. I use that. That's my phono preamp that I use on my Fluence, my external one. That thing outperforms other preamps that are 3 times its price. So, and it has a gain on it, which I really like for some of the records that I have that have a really low recording level. So that's a wonderful investment if you need a preamp. They're not that expensive. I think they're around $100 now, I think. And again, outperforms things many times their price. I think they're great. And let's see here. I think here in a moment here, yeah, you can see what else is going on. I use this Magnavox DVD player as my CD player, and this thing has a great DAC in it on its own. It really does. I had found it on some type of a message board, with audio files, and they said, hey, this is a great sounding CD player. And I got this thing for $5. You can find them all over. They're kind of cheaply made. They're light, but they sound great. The motor's a little noisy, but you can't hear it while you're listening to it. I do run it through an external DAC though. It's an SMSL. I don't even know what model it is. I'm sorry. It's not a very expensive one, but I think that opens up the sound a little bit more, but it sounds really good without it. So again, if you need a CD player, you can't go wrong with this. And then I have that shit. It's a parabolic type EQ, and I really like that thing too. I run that all the time, and I'm able to. It has a tape loop, my old Pioneer, so I'm able to run it through the tape loop, and everything goes through it. And I just keep all of my tone and my bass and my treble on 0, and just run this, and I can tweak it for different records and different CDs as needed, and for my room. But yeah, that's really good. Here's my Fluence turntable. Well, somewhere here. I need to do some cable management. I'm sorry. It's a RT85. I love this thing. Has the acrylic the acrylic platter, and it's it's manual. It has it's belt driven, so it's super quiet. I call this an RT75 because I have a mid 70s AT LS 500 cartridge on it, and that was top of the line in the mid 70s. And this is new old stock that I got. I have a backup too, and I have the new old stock. It's a Shibadu. Anyway, it's like a thin line needle too, stylus that came with it, but they are so expensive. The one I have on there I got from LP Gear, and honestly, LP Gear has a replacement stylus for these that is just fantastic. They're maybe $150, so they're not that expensive considering. I love the way this sounds. It just, I love the 70s kind of sound, so it really does that for me. And then this is my old LP60, and this is really good. It has that little, what is it, is it 1800 cartridge? You can't change the cartridge. You can change the stylus, but I just keep the regular stylus on there. It works great for 45s. They sound better on that than anything else. It also works great for records that are a little dirty or, have some issues. But and it's automatic, so when my wife listens to records, she likes to use that. And even though they're not expensive, they don't harm your records. They're not a bad turntable. Matter of fact, they work your whole life if that's all you needed. But I do like that, and that one's going right into the phono stage in my Pioneer. And then these are my RTR speakers, and I've liked RTR speakers since I was a kid. Those and Sur and Vegas were always my favorite, and maybe because they have the red cones and the woofers. These are 15-inch woofers, 6.5-inch mid-range, I think, and tweeter horns. But I love these speakers. They're not vintage, but I love them.